Hello, I'm back for another video. My name is Josh Kastic, and today is my Top Gun Maverick spoiler review. So if you have not seen this movie and don't want any spoilers, I don't know why you clicked on this video when clearly spoiler is in the title. But I'll still give you 10 seconds to leave the video, alright? Alright, you have been warned, so without further ado, let's get into the plot. So this movie kind of opens up with Maverick about 30 years later, and he is being a test pilot for this prototype ship. But when he comes into work, and this is after it first opens up for him working on a Mustang. But then he goes to work, and they tell him that the person in charge of this is shutting them down because they haven't gone to Mach 10 yet, and today they're testing Mach 9. And the guy wanted to use the military money for drones. So they decided, Maverick decides that he wanted to, we're going to make it to Mach 10 right now. That person's not here yet, so let's go do it. And they go do it. He flies off. The general shows up, kind of being mad. But he was able to reach Mach 10. So obviously this is faster than the speed of light. And that's kind of and it's going really fast. But then he decides to push it even more. And the ship unfortunately blows up. But he has a parachute, so he lives. And he comes back, and instead of being court-martialed, he gets saved by Iceman. Now who is an admiral of the Pacific Fleet. So he's grounded, he doesn't fly anymore, and you probably remember him, he's a character from the first movie. The only character besides Maverick Sorry about my light shut off, so my face is going to be a little bit dark, but it's going to be alright. But where was I? Yes. So I was talking about so the only character besides Maverick to return to this movie, it's because of the studios not wanting to bring anyone back from the first movie for this film for some reason. I don't know why, but that's kind of what they decided to do, which is really strange, but okay. So but he gets saved, and then he gets picked to teach at Top Gun for an important mission. And so he goes there, and he first kind of goes into this bar. This is where we meet Penny. Apparently one of his ex-girlfriend that he had within the 30 years between the first film and this film. And this is a different girlfriend than he had in the first movie, and she is a much better love interest. They have more chemistry in this film. I would have liked maybe a middle film to show all the different gap parts between the first and this one. Would have been nice, but yeah, it's pretty cool there. And they kind of rekindle the relationship throughout the film. And so that's kind of where it's at. But there we get to meet all the trainees. We have a guy named Hangman, who's kind of one of those character types that think he's all that. A hot shot, if you all aware. And then another character is Rooster, who's actually the son of Goose, who was Maverick's partner in the first film, or I should say late partner, because unfortunately he died in the first film. So, now, he's now a pilot, and then, obviously, eventually, because of I think comments and not paying. First, he had to buy everyone drinks, and then he couldn't pay for everyone, and so he was kicked out of the bar. But he sees Rooster playing the piano, kind of like how Goose used to play the piano, which kind of brings him back some memories. Then the next day, it's class, and the guy in charge of Top Gun right now, brings Maverick in, or introduces Maverick, and then Maverick throws out the old flying textbooks or whatever, saying that in order to complete this mission, they have to think out of the box. And this mission, well, they have to fight. They have to take down a a unsanctioned petroleum plant that is basically, there's this canyon thing that's round, that's kind of like a circle, and it's like very steep in and out, or like steep up in and out, it's very steep, and it's like underground, like it's not above, but it's underground, so now they have to do that, but they have to shoot correctly in order to destroy the base that's underground. And in order to get there, they have to go through this canyon, and they have to fly really low because there's these things called the SAMs. Or I forgot what SAM stands for, but it's S period A period M period. It's abbreviation, for whatever it actually means. I don't know. But if they go above that line, I think they will be hit by the SAMs. Plus, they also have to deal with fifth generation. They would have to deal with fifth generation planes, which what they're flying is fourth generation planes, F-18s, and we don't really sure if fourth generation can come back fifth generation, and so we're going to say that the fifth generation is just automatically better than the fourth generation. I don't know how I feel about that. My dad says that he doesn't know how he feels about that, but that's kind of how it is. So he trains them, and they have to learn how to fly low, and the leader of Taikan isn't really happy with Maverick. He doesn't like his training methods. He just isn't happy with him. But then, basically, there's a fight between Rooster and Maverick, which we'll find out later to why, but they kind of have this fight, and then Iceman tells him to talk to him, and so he visits Iceman. It turns out that Iceman has cancer, and that he doesn't have much long to live, which they're just doing that because they didn't even want the character in the film, which I have a problem with, but in the context of the writing of the story, it actually makes sense. And I'll get to you that way. So he encourages Maverick, and Maverick goes back, but then Iceman dies. And basically now there's no one saving him. Now, I forgot to mention, Maverick could be a higher rank just like Iceman is, but with all his medals and all the missions he's done and how much honors he has. But as many honors as he also has a lot of subordination because he doesn't want to be grounded like Iceman is. He wants to keep flying, and Iceman always keeps saving him. But now Iceman's gone, nothing's saving him, and so now his character needs to grow. He's on his own. He needs to grow by himself, and I think he did grow. First, the guy basically kicked him out, and then he basically went to talk to Penny. They kind of had this moment where they do sleep together, that type of thing. But then he reveals to Penny that the reason why Rooster and him are not getting along is because he made a promise. He made a promise to his late mother. Yes, they killed his mother, which I have a problem with. They could have brought back the actress. I'm really annoyed that they didn't. But yeah, he promised the mother that Rooster wouldn't become a pilot. Unfortunately, he still does. But what he did in order to stop him was basically take his papers away out of the academy, and basically this stumped his military career by 4 years. Now, I also have to mention that Rooster and Hangman don't get really along because Rooster isn't the hotshot type of personality. He's very caring, and he doesn't fly as extreme as Hangman is, which Hangman has a problem with. And usually with that type of personality that Hangman is, he usually picks on who he thinks is inferior to him. but he actually also kind of grows throughout the movie as well, which I like. Some of the other interesting characters, we have a character, I forgot her real name, but her nickname is Phoenix. We have a guy named Robert, who goes by Bob, who's her wingman, who flies, because usually F-18s, even F-14s, usually have two pilots, but they can be flown by one person. But basically, Penny encourages him that encourages him to helps him through the situation that he's in. And now we come back to the next day in the school, and basically the leader of Top Gun is going to take over. He's changing up the flight plan basically to make it easier to attack the target, but it actually makes it really hard to leave too. But then Maverick steals an F-18, and he does his parameters for the run, and he goes in and does the practice run that they have set up the course, and he did it. And so the leader of Top Gun had no choice but to put him in charge of the mission. Like, not only is he's no longer just training, he's actually going to fly into it. So now they're ready for the mission. They are on an aircraft carrier. So what they're going to do is that from the aircraft carrier, they're going to shoot up a bunch of missiles to the base with all the planes, or to slow them down. And then Maverick, he's going to lead Team 1. He has his own F-18 with his part for the first run. The first missile attack is going to take 2 attacks. One to open a hole to the base, and the second one to actually blow up the base. Okay, so that's so the second plane that's going to be in the first attack run is Phoenix and Bob or Robert, and then the second attack run is going to be Rooster in his own plane and Fanboy in his own plane, and so then they go on the attack. Now, they had to watch out for 2 Generation 5 planes that were already out, but they were actually able to go in, blow up the... now, because of... because he picked Rooster, and he gave some advice to Rooster, Rooster was kind of thinking about it and holding back, and so they were really behind the goal, but they eventually catch up and were able to blow up the base for the second attack. And I forget, the first 2 were able to attack and they get out. But then they had to watch out for SAMs around them as they tried to escape. They have these things that they kind of release from their ships so that the SAMs hit those things instead of the ship, because I think they're heat tracking, for sure. But unfortunately, Rooster runs out and Maverick kind of jumps in the way and his plane blows up. Now, the leader of Top Gun, who's on the aircraft carrier running, he says that they're assuming that Maverick's dead and that they all need to go back. Now, all of them do go back except for Rooster. He goes back, sees that Maverick lived from a parachute, but he's being attacked by an enemy helicopter, and Rooster destroys the helicopter, but then his plane gets shot down by SAMs, but he lives too. And then they kind of go to the military base, and then they steal an F-14, my favorite plane, which unfortunately, they literally say in the movie that they're antiques, and that annoyed me so much because they're my favorite plane. Well, let's keep going. So they steal the F-14 and they kind of leave, but then 5th generation planes are after them. There's 2 of them right now, and they were able to manage to destroy them, but then another one shows up and they are pretty much like out of options. They assume they're going to die here. But then Hangman comes in, shoots that plane down, and they go back to base, and then they, after they get back, Rooster and Maverick hug each other. Their relationship is finally fixed throughout these moments. And then, the final scene is Rooster helping, Maverick work on his, P-51 Mustang, which he was working on at the very beginning of the film before going to work with the test thing. And then Penny and her daughter, because she has a daughter already, but she has an ex-husband, they divorced. They show up, and then Penny and Maverick get into the Mustang and they fly off into the sun and the film ends. Man, was this a beautiful film. The writing was spectacular. It was amazing. Like the best I've seen in Hollywood in a very long time, man. This was a beautiful film. Even way better written than the first movie. Like the first one's good. This is just way better. It hit on all the heartfelt moments. I just can't see any other way I would have written this film. I would have added more of the characters from the last film. I wouldn't have killed Rooster's mother. I might have to keep Iceman's death in this because it was, unfortunately, it had to happen for Maverick's character development. But yeah, I think that was, other than those little things, I can't see any other way I would have made this film. It's a perfect sequel. It's just that good. Like, it's amazing. I loved all the characters in the movie. Maverick as always. I liked Rooster. I like all the characters. They all were interesting in this film. And it was like, they did a phenomenal job playing their characters. I liked Penny. I liked the love interest. I like her as the love interest for Maverick. I think they have more chemistry, and it just worked more than Maverick and the actress than the other character in the first movie. And I'm glad that the action sequences are amazing as always. I still liked the F-14s in the first movie. I wish they weren't antique because that's my favorite plane. But it is what it is. The F-18s are still cool. It's not better than the F-14 in my opinion, but they're still cool. And yeah, I thought those action sequences and all that, those were really well done. It's cool that the actors learned to actually fly the planes. That was actually pretty cool. So there wasn't a lot of CGI. I think there's certain moments where there just has to be CGI because I just don't think the military allow actors to fly like F-18s and to do crazy stunts and stuff like that. So I think some of it has to be CGI, but not all of it. But other than that, yeah, I think whatever CGI is in the film, that was good as well. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, guys. That's all my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you're new, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know if I have my next upload. My YouTube channel, website link, my Twitter, my Snapchat, and Instagram are all in the description as always. And thank you. Goodbye.